Listen, I don't know about you, but I started a business so I could do this. Travel, be with friends, be with family, create memories. I didn't do it to sit at the computer all day. I didn't do it so that I could just be in countless emails and Zoom meetings. I did it to create opportunities for myself and opportunities for others. So listen, if that's something that interests you, enjoying time with your friends, being out and about, definitely drop by Erica Williams' Classy Climb blog. Check out the YouTube channel. We've got over 2,000 videos of free information that's actually changed people's lives. People actually post their new jobs, their new careers, their new businesses all the time over at the channel. Oh, what's up, everybody? This is your girl Erica from the Classic Climb blog coming through. If you see these posts up here, the Confidence Challenge and the AI Business, check those out. Those are for you. Nice causeways. A lot of people think, oh, Erica, I just need more information. I just need money. No, some of you just need confidence. I know, not the best. All right. And if you need to, you can also book a call here. The links are in the description. Come in and drop your city and state in the chat. Let's get into it. I was on a first class flight the other day, maybe like 2 days ago at this point, and I heard a man having a phone call. Hey, we need to make a decision. And he's like, you know what? And they're naming off people. Clearly they're saying names. And he's like, well, that's okay. They can stay. That's okay. They can stay. Then they name somebody and he goes, well, you know what? She's busy. She's very busy. But I don't know if she's productive. And so the man made a kind of comment. He's like, yeah, I'm okay with that. So I already knew this lady had got fired. This poor lady done got fired. Maybe one or two of the people done got fired. And this all happened while he's sitting in first class as the plane is boarding and he's doing reviews. Just reviewing your potential in your career. Now, this is not everybody's thing. You may say this might be a small company. I've been to plenty of little warehouses where there's 500 employees in there and people think, oh, that's not a big company. Well, literally 99% of most businesses in America have under 500 employees, right? Out of 33 million businesses. And we always make fun of African-American businesses not having employees, just usually a bunch of contractors. That's the standard. Most American businesses have 10 to 20 people at most. This is why people hate firing people, hate letting people go, because it's such a small office. I had a small office. And I had one person. She was getting fired. She stole a laptop and she started texting the whole staff. Erica's holding my paycheck. I'm a single mom and I can't afford to drive up to the office. And everybody's like, dude, just return the laptop so you can get your paycheck. It's a $200 laptop. It's the principle of the thing. Bring the freaking laptop back to the office, right? So you can get your check. So she's texting the whole staff. I don't even know. It's not till my manager comes over and goes, hey, man, she's texting us, all everybody in staff. She's got our numbers, looking in the files, being nosy in the office, and texting all of us in a group text, talking about how Erica's not paying us our money. And this is one of the reasons, and it's a bad one and a good one, that I will never hire people that watch my YouTube channel ever again. There's some really talented, awesome people who are watching this channel, but unless they're in construction and I can see their work, I'll never hire them to be within my office. Because one of her arguments was like, on her YouTube channel, she's rich. And I've watched her channel for years and she didn't pay me. And the staff was like, dude, just return the freaking laptop. And so I tell people, busy but not productive is going to get a lot of you fired in the coming year. And a lot of people are like, you just want to show up at work at a job where you're moving around, pushing paper, you're making phone calls, you're sending out emails, and that's not enough. Your person that's in charge of cutting your payroll check needs to see that you put in results. And no one wants to hear this, but this is why I keep telling y'all, a lot of the management people that you're like, haha, those middle managers are gone. Those middle managers are not going back to working at HEB and Lowe's and Home Depot and going to be doing Uber and Lyft. Middle managers are not going to do that. A lot of those people have enough credit. And if they're listening and paying attention, they have enough in their 401k to take a loan out, possibly get more rentals. There's several people I met in Austin who already had 2 homes back where they used to live. They're renting them out. They didn't want to sell them. Now they might leave Austin, so they're going to rent this one out too. These people are collecting assets. It's a different conversation. And many people are not ready. So here's a couple of the ones I want to show, and then I'm going to show the whiteboard of truth and justice. Let me show you the AP report right here. Okay, so this is one of the first ones. Well, that might help if I put it on the screen, wouldn't it? But I just thought, how bad for that lady that she's getting fired and her boss is just saying, yeah, she seems busy. It's not in person. It's very impersonable. It's over the phone, but that's how life is happening right now for people. So again, this is what you're seeing. Layoffs are piling up, raising worker anxiety. Here are some of the companies that have cut jobs recently. And this is why it pays to be awake. And this is why this is happening in the middle of football, kids going back to school, school supplies, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. So people are going to try to spend their money still keeping those appearances up and then worry about it in January. I promise you. There's husbands and wives right now like, "Oh my god, what are we going to do?" And your husband's going to be at home through Christmas. That's all that's going to be done. He's going to apply for a lot of stuff, be frustrated and kick it off in January. So let me keep going here. So it's saying it's a tough time in the job market. But if you go through here, talk about the government shutdown. Amazon's cutting 14,000 corporate jobs. GM lays off 1,700 workers at the plant in Michigan and Ohio amid slower EV demand, which makes no sense because Michigan and Ohio are cold states. How are you using EV in a state where the battery doesn't really work well in a cold state? Let's keep on going. Target is laying off 1,000 employees to revive sales. The government shutdown. ADP showed the private sector lost 32 jobs in September. General Motors. Okay, Paramount, my favorite, because it had Yellowstone and everything else. And now he's leaving. Taylor Sheridan's leaving that network. So they're going to lay off some more people. It's an $8 billion merger with Skydance. Again, we talked about mergers and acquisitions in this time. Paramount's going to lay off 2,000 people. That's 10% of its workforce. So they have 20,000 people working for them. Paramount, 20,000 people. They started roughly with 1,000 on Wednesday. They said the rest will be later date. So you already know. You at work, you're like, dang. Amazon, okay? 14,000 corporate jobs. That's 4% of its workforce. Okay? UPS, 48,000 jobs as part of turnaround efforts. Right? Like, remember last year they were like, yeah, we're gonna get this monies. We're gonna get paid. The union's working for us. Okay. Oh man, well, we'll do one here soon. Y'all text Dr. Dix on King of Automation, tell him get over here. We'll do one soon. Let me keep going. The company announced that the UPS, they cut 34,000 operational positions. They're going to cut another 14,000 in role reductions, mostly within management. Combined, that's much higher than the roughly 20,000 cuts they forecast earlier. Okay, Target's doing 1,800 corporate positions. Nestle's cutting 16,000 jobs globally. Again, it's not all here. Lithuania Group is going to cut 4,000 jobs by 2030 because of AI, digitalization, and consolidating work among member airlines. Most of their jobs will be lost in Germany. Nova is going to lose 9,000. It's a pharmaceutical company. That's 11% of its workforce. Now, what drugs do they make? Ozempic and Wegovy. I'm telling y'all, as much as y'all think those drugs are making all that money, there's research and development. There's other issues. ConocoPhillips is laying off a quarter of its workforce. That's 13,000, which is bad for the son that might be running for president in 2028 because they're going to bring that up. Intel, okay? Intel has been Intelling forever. Get out of here. Right here. Intel, in the end of the year, they're going to lay off 75,000 core workers, excluding its subsidiaries, through layoff and attrition. That's down from 99,000. Oh, it's going to end the year with 75. So they're going to lose about 50%. Okay, so they have 99 right now. Core employees are going to get down to 75,000. So they're going to lose about what? 20, let me see. 14,000 people? Yeah, 14,000 people. That's a lot of people. Microsoft laying off 6,000 people. It said it was going to cut 9,000, but they just did 6,000. Procter & Gamble did 7,000. Now, why am I bringing this up to you? This isn't a channel that's always like, oh, people going to lose their jobs. Right? Me and Dr. Dix have talked about it for years. But again, overall, when we talk about this from the perspective of what are these people's next steps, right? Even if I share this tab, same thing here. PwC, 5,600. Salesforce, 4,000. Paramount, 2,000. Target, Kroger, 1,000. Applied Materials, Meta, 600. Nestle, Intel, right? And you're saying, okay, Erica, you're sharing these. Like, what can I do with this information? And the fact is, you're not going to like my answer, but it's take extreme ownership. But I'll continue. Here's some more.
If you're in tech or any high-paying job that you are not secure and safe in right now, Watch this video because I'm going to give you guys a couple of things that you need to do today to make sure that you are safe in case this crap happens to you. Number one, the most important thing that you should be doing today is determining what is your monthly burn. How much money is going out the door every single month? Number two, you need to be cash heavy right now. Right now is not the time to be spending your money. You need to be taking that money, putting it in your bank account, earning 5% interest. Mine's in a fund called SWVXX, I believe. It earns like 4 or 5% interest. 6 months of your money should be in that fund earning 5%. It's 24-hour liquidity. You can be able to get that money out to do whatever you need to do with it within 24 hours. And the third and final thing that you need to be doing right now is you need to be building up your freaking network. If it was me, I'd build up my network of real estate investors and small business buyers, because business buying is what I teach on my account. At the very least, you need to be building your network at other companies so that in case this happens to you, you have contacts and resources at another industry. Guys, stay safe out there. Like, I know you're making great money. Now is not the time to go blow it on Ibiza. Put in your bank account, stay safe. If you're in tech right now, you're just kind of waiting to be fired every day at this point.
Okay. Now, I've already told y'all, this is a skill up season. This is a winter art, right? I just want you to
cannot receive with a closed fist. If you're holding on to money like this, you're never going to make more of it. If you let go of control, you let the money flow, all of a sudden your hands are wide open. There was a point of my life where I was saving every single dollar and I was freaking terrified to spend money. And then my friend came to me and he goes, why are you saving up all this money? Why aren't you helping other people? Why are you holding all these secrets to yourself? I said, well, dude, for me to pour into others, I had to make sure that my cup was full. If you have a water bottle and you're pouring it, you got to make sure that your cup is full, because what people do is a lot of them are people pleasers, and then your cup gets all the way empty and you're still trying to pour into people but you have nothing left. That's how I thought life was. And he said this stupid thing, which is you just cut the bottom off the cup. And I was like, what the hell does that mean, dude? And he goes, everything that flows to you flows through you. You've got this cup that's got the bottom cut off of it and it just flows through you and to others. And so if I get an idea, I share it with as many people as I can. If I get money, I share it with as many people as I can. If I'm having an experience or a really fun moment, I try to share it with as many people as I can. Ever since I started doing that, I went from me to we, my entire life, literally 100x overnight. And that was 5 years ago. And I've become a
multimillionaire. Listen, you go watch this. You can look at his page all you want. Again, all he's talking about is buying businesses. And again, I've told y'all, people that are working in these high-end companies, excuse me, I apologize, will have enough funds to buy companies, because you only need 10% and the SBA will pay for the rest. 10% down payment on $1 million business, 10% on a $50,000 business, a $500,000 business. I've had people approach me to buy some of their businesses. This is not uncommon right now in this season. This means you need to get skill up. Yeah, skills, soft skills, technical skills. Go get you some money. People are getting fired, and those same companies are hiring as well. Like, I can literally show you all these tech companies hiring, and people are like, oh, I wouldn't work for 75. I came into the company at 100. Guess what? They don't care. There's somebody out there right now like 75,000. That's great. And the problem is, a lot of these people that are in middle management, they thought they had to 50 and 60 to make a decision, right? On what their next business looks like, their next job, their next opportunity. And now they're having to make it earlier. That's all there is to it. That's why when people show me these cars and these trips, and I just giggle like, oh, you got to enjoy your money, Erica. You got to go to these things. And I'm like, you are in a position where you are relying on someone else to pay you a paycheck. They are in control. This is the same thing. Like, you're gonna say, well, business owners rely on people. Relax, take a deep breath. I know that's your first instinct. Business is hard and people are stressful. Yeah, listen. The reason people push back so hard against business ownership is they saw uncles and aunts and people who had to hustle and chase people down and pay stuff, and they're running short on bills and they're paying everybody. And of course, most business owners get paid last. You had a generation of people in the 80s and 90s just figuring it out. You have too much information on this internet, too many people giving coaching and testing you and informing you how to run these companies now. There really isn't an excuse. Do you know what I'm saying? To be extremely broke. It just depends on what you want to do. There was somebody on the phone with me maybe 2 weeks ago on a phone call, and they were like, oh man, I'm tired of making phone calls, right? Like, Grandpa, I'm tired of this crap. That's too bad, right? Because I said all's going to happen is when you go get that other job at that office. Yes, you'll have some side relief because you're making the phone calls, but you're doing the same thing. This is why you see here so many wholesalers out here on the internet saying other wealthy wholesalers are like, can I just come work for you? I just need a consistent paycheck because really what they're telling you is they work hard enough to get paid, then they go slack off for months or a month or two. And then they got to get back on and work really hard and they're burning themselves out because they don't want to pick up a system. Right? So prime example, yes, locked in this winter and fall, network plus, security plus, CCNA while creating projects. I have to get it 6 years until I'm 40. Man, you got it. You got it. If you want it, you can have it. You don't want to sing the song, stay woke. No. I'm gonna show you this, guys, right here. This is roadmap from solo hustler to strategic CEO. Now, if you see his arc, I don't know if this is big enough. I hope it is, but I think it is big enough. Essentially, the hustler, you're doing all the roles. You're calling, you're fulfilling, you're writing paperwork. But as you grow, you should be putting other people in there and they just report to you and you get to the end. Now, when you get to the big daddy CEO stage and you're bringing in 100,000 to 300,000 a month in sales and deals, as you see Nick Perry and all these people do, really you're just fine tuning the advertising. The advertising is going out. People are making phone calls. People are making leads, making offers. By the time you hear about it, you're just signing on the dotted line. Sales are getting done with or without you there. It's a system. And really, why a lot of people have poured into entrepreneurship because they want to do what they want to do. I want to do my own thing the way I want to do it. And the more you get deeper into having a business, you realize you need systems. You need systems. You need some money set aside. You need reserves. This is why when people say, oh my God, I know somebody, they're just so broke, Erica, I would not tell them to start a business. Now, if they want to show me that they can go, do concrete, knock doors, knock sales, talk to people, yeah, they can start a business. But overall, they're always going to have a scarcity mindset as they go out here. Every dollar, they're going to be so tight. They're going to be pinchy penny. It's going to be so unattractive how their behavior will be. They'll do anything, right? You'll see these workers who, their average price is this. Well, ma'am, I'll drop the price for you. And they'll keep doing that behavior, hoping to get money, right? And unfortunately, what happens with that is they end up building this scarcity machine and it just gets worse and worse and worse. It just gets worse and worse and worse. They eventually go bankrupt. And so a lot of times people say, well, I'll just go get a job, Eric. I'll just go get a job. And then they'll call me and they're, oh, I'm so stressed night and day. They're running around trying to, make calls and do all this stuff that they could have done anyway. You dig what I'm saying? They could have already done it. I'm going to show that, play this real quick.
Starting a business. A business is the accumulation of your skills, your belief system, and the relationships that support your goals. I went from making $16 an hour to learning a skill in cybersecurity that enabled me to earn $250,000. I used that money to feed myself and found a mentor. I learned additional skills like marketing and leadership, and my mentor taught me the art of building a company. Then I invested the money from my job and everything I learned into my own startup, and now I'm a millionaire. The quickest way to escape poverty is not starting a business. The quickest way out of poverty is acquiring a skill that people with money need and allowing them to reward you in exchange. If you aren't making money, the answer to your challenges is not starting a business. A business is the accumulation of your skills, your belief system, and the relationships that support your goals. I went from making $16 an hour to learning a skill in cybersecurity that enabled me to earn $250,000.
Now, immediately you're going to say, well, Erica, wait a minute. You just said you can start a business. Yes. I said anybody and everybody, by the time you look up the same thing, when you look on these job applications for requirements, what you need to do, you're doing the same thing. You're doing the same thing. Okay, you are. But if somebody's telling me they're about to be 2 minutes from being homeless, I will tell them to go try to find a job. I will tell them to go get in sales because all companies are always hiring for sales. You just have to have the stomach to get on the phone call. All companies are hiring for customer service. Why? Because people don't like automation. They don't like it. Okay. Now I'm going to show you an example of sometimes it's not It's not what you know, it's who you know. This right here is Michael Dell's son. That's right, Dell Computer's son. That's 29 years old. He just raised $1 billion. Now, immediately you're going to say, Erica, stop it. No, I'm for real. He just raised $1 million. He aims to transform the home power selling business by selling electricity and backup power like Costco membership. Now, what did I tell y'all about Texas? I've already told y'all in Texas, there's guys running around, don't know what they're doing, end up making money. They have literally have solar power companies and they're just killing it, right? They don't even know what they're doing. Like they don't even have systems. I remember this guy had made $1 million and he's like, oh, I just hired some friends and we went knocking doors. Okay. And so he's got this company in Austin. Why? His dad lives in Austin. You know, Austin is what it is. And so, of course, he's got these batteries paired with software and a unique business model. You can make your power more reliable and less expensive. Now what just happened? Okay. You know, he's going to have this leased battery system for one-time cost of $695, right? As opposed to a backup generator that can cost you $15,000. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you this right now. You need to have your own backup generator. If you look at Max Tuning's channel, he was in a neighborhood and they had a power outage in Houston, which happens often. If y'all don't know this about Houston, that's the crazy part. It's in a very powerful city, but it does have power flickers on and off sometimes in some of those places. And people make good money putting backup generators onto the houses. They make good money doing that. But this is he's telling you $695. Just $695. And and you're leasing it. I just want you to understand that this is all who you know, not what you know. His father, of course, Michael, is not involved in Based. Okay, they want you to know that. Top investors include venture capital firm Addition, Thrive Capital, Lightspeed Venture Partners, Anderson Horowitz. Basically, the Horowitz, like acquisition.com, Kokoff. Anyway, Alphabet, Capital G, and many more. Again, I told y'all Austin, Texas has over 5,000 capital companies. Okay. The base only operates in Texas, including Austin, Houston, and Dallas regions. But the base, which was founded in 2023, again, 2 years ago, y'all, raised $1 billion. Is pivoting from startup mode to ramp up graph mode, and the tentative plan is to begin expanding outside of Texas in 2026. We have big, fast-growing business in Texas, but long-term ambition is to bring Base to every household in America. This is why I keep telling y'all, even people in Texas will have power. If the power grid goes down, if something goes on, trust me, the 300 days of sunshine that Colorado and Texas get, we will figure out how to keep it going. Okay? These kids are trying to tell them trades is a way to get paid, then learn. You can eventually start your own business, buy rentals. You know how many people I ran into a plumber at an event in Dallas, the rat race to retirement, that guy who does apartments. And the guy was like, oh, I'm trying to figure out how to get in apartments. I have 10 rental units. I'm like, 10 rental units? And he's like, yeah, I'm a plumber. And along the way, people sold them to me, but I really want to get in something bigger. And I'm like, do you understand you have 10 rental units? You're in the top 1% of America. And I'm just rattling off this random information to him. And he just looked at me, this white man, like, wow, I never thought about it like that. And I just I felt bad for him because it's like, if you don't have the right information, you think you're struggling. You think you're doing bad. But what happens is people get out here and they start buying these boats and buying these houses and going on these vacations and buying big old pickup trucks. And then they need more and more money to sustain that. Okay, to sustain it. Definitely experienced a few power outages, including a hurricane last year. There you go. Electricians are going down to Jamaica making $10K a week. You already know. Government contracts and everything gonna be going to Jamaica. I'm a project coordinator at a renewable energy company. Been in this role 10 months. Decade in sales, engineering, support roles. Need to increase my income. I hear you. But this is something. This is why I bring this up. Is it's the puck is moving towards who owns something. What do you own? And I showed this video here on the community tabs. This is a guy. He said, I make $300,000 a month from 50 YouTube channels. Now, I already told you All Things Real had 70 channels. Several other people I can point out had a bunch of channels out here. And why do they have these channels, y'all? Why do they have 50, 60, 70 channels on YouTube, you guys? Because they're not the actor on all the channels. In the comment section, tell me why these people have all these YouTube channels. Let's see if I can pull it back to that minute where I want to show y'all. Is this it or number? It's like minute 7. I think it's this right here.
to our team of editors. And basically, I have a team of project managers that help to run a bunch of these channels. They're gonna coordinate with the video editors, the thumbnails, all those contractors to get that video created, made, revisions, all that stuff, and finally posted onto the YouTube channel. A lot of these channels also have their own channels in different languages. So basically what we do is we have a team of people in different countries like France, Indonesia, Philippines, Russia, Germany, and these people are basically gonna go through all these videos, they're gonna translate them, and they're gonna do a manual voiceover. After that, they'll edit the native language into the actual video with like captions and sub.
I can't remember what part it is.
Partner Stack, these are some of the more popular.
Okay, there you go. I think it's Partner Stack. Let me see. Impact.com.
AWin, Partner Stack, these are some of the.
Okay, now why am I showing you this? Why am I talking about this? I don't know if y'all remember this because this is so long ago. I've been on YouTube so long, I've watched them come and go. Dr. Boyce Watkins had about 20 different women on payroll, right? We just know of what went around. Yvette Carnell and a few other people that went or left. But what they didn't tell you, Yvette Carnell was complaining of getting paid $3,000 a month in her mom's basement with her white girlfriend, Miss Pro Black. Okay, she was complaining. I don't want no smoke, but I'm telling the truth. And she was willing to take that $3,000 check every month to do content on these platforms and talk about these different affiliate marketing opportunities. Because that was, I keep telling y'all, this is some of the most money some of these people will ever make. This is you can go today on Upwork, Fiverr, all these different places. If you're on the Digital Liberty Warriors, I've shown you the different websites you can hire people. If you're in the school group, you can just go in the content and see it for yourself. We've went over it on many of the lives in Digital Liberty Warriors group of how you hire people, how you hire actors, how you hire influencers. You know, you're paying people $10, $20 a video. You can get a sea of actors to come on your YouTube channel and say, hey, listen, I love your content so much. I love your personality. I'm willing to pay you $3,000. And these are the links you're going to repeat in every video. And you're going to mention that we're selling this in every video. And you own the content, you own the channel. There's several YouTubers. The amazing Lucas has a couple channels under his belt. Jake Paul and Logan Paul, what people are known their fame for, they had like 16 kids who were all teenagers under their belt. They picked some Latino twins, some white girls. They all gave them fancy cars. It was basically like a 360 label deal they had with those people. All right. And so what ends up happening when I told y'all the other day, and I meant it, is like, this is some of the easiest money they'll ever make. This is why I laugh when y'all like, yeah, these people need certifications. They were talking about black people needing certifications. Like the amount of black people coming on social media making a bank is crazy. So who you think that's going to affect? You think that's going to stop Michael Dell's son from raising $1 billion while you arguing about, why you argue about these people need to have certifications? It's comical. It's pure comedy, which are people say that. Let me show this here. Let me go here real quick. So this is something people say. We're going to be talking about why business owners' life can be tough, grinding so hard for such little take home, being super lonely, working solo, or frustrated by all the hats you have to wear, be in an industry that's slow growing / dying. Okay. So again, this person, and I paraphrase, I took this paragraph from someone, why you should actually look at opportunities where you can have actual high potential, strong salary base, and benefits for stability. Work with ambitious, kind people where you can actually work on things you like, be in industries that are fast growing, lots of money. Guess what they said? It was just sales. It was tech sales, business sales, right? But the problem is business is not a soccer team. Somebody has to be the coach. Someone has to be the captain. And a lot of people don't want to be the captain of their own ship. And that's okay. We've learned that. But guess what? As long as you're never the captain of your own ship, you will always be at the mercy of someone who has to cut your check. You can't just look busy but not productive to the guy who's on the first class plane, leaving Texas going, yeah, let her go. That's okay. Yeah, keep him, keep her, leave him. Like she could be absolutely swamped with work. That's not what he sees. He sees she's busy but not productive. This is why it's easier to work in sales, because you can say, I talked to this many people and we had this many sales this month. That's the same with the cold callers we have right now. Like, they talked to this many people. We had this many leads this month. We have 1 or 2 deals come out of it. Great. I can see that and I will keep paying for that, right? People have to have results. Go get hobbies. This is something I say often. If somebody's a business owner, one of the things you'll learn is they'll have that 2 to 5 years of where they're burning themselves out. And I personally made a hobby of getting massages on Friday, taking vacations when needed, and also growing in other ways, right? Therapy, different things. A lot of times you'll meet business owners, they're like, oh, it's so stressful and lonely. You're like, what do you do on Thursday night? What are your hobbies, right? You need to write out the life you want before the business. And you're going to say that sounds backwards, but it doesn't. You don't live to work. You don't work to live and all that other stuff, right? You write out what your life should look like and how much does that life cost and how do we pre-plan it? Now, some of you are going to be like, give a lot of pushback to that, but that's why I always talk about, I get the calendar and I write out what the next year looks like. How many trips? How much do they cost? What are the flights costing right now? If I can't fly first class, I don't really want to fly because it's always some weird situation where some dude 6'5" sitting in the middle seat. I don't have time for that, right? So I'm always going to make sure I can plan it in advance so I can have it the way I want. Now, this right here is an example of what Charlie's talking about. If you don't watch the full video, if you have, or All Things Rose has talked about it before, these are 5 I would pick. These are just examples, right? But what I would pick, something I know, right? Mortgages, wholesaling, land flipping, health, credit, business funding, and Instagram, Texas big houses. I'd pick 5 stars, right? I'd have 5 stars at the first go round, and like, this guy or girl would be Mr. Mortgage, and they would do nonstop content and ebook referral, right? There'd have be like 5 ebooks, right? And they would always point to them, and that channel should make $10,000 to $30,000 a month, right? It's just always talking about mortgage and the latest topics on getting a mortgage, how to get a mortgage, why to get a mortgage, how, why, when, where, programs, and they will always connect you to affiliates that I get paid from. Right. So next would be a wholesaling land flipping channel, right? We have Mr. Land Flipper. He'd talk about different ways to wholesale, have a couple ebooks, have a couple things they could sell, promote. On to the next. I'd have a health person. I'd find someone like AM1, be like, look, I'm going to pay you $5 to $10 grand a month. I need X amount of videos this month, consistently upload it so we can edit it. And you're going to talk about why this tea is good, why this supplement's good and you've tried it, why this is better type of water than this water, reviewing different hot teas, all that stuff. Because trust me, the health segment, most people know, like when people talk about diets and they show you their diet, it's usually just healthy food. It's just a well-balanced eating, right? When I start talking about healthy teas, like I have a tea here, I have a ginger and I have a peppermint tea. And people are going to say, why would you put those two together? For your tummy, for your immune system, for your digestion, for your metabolism, detoxing your liver, right? I know those because I'm studying those. But what if I put somebody who's fit, attractive, some girl out of Atlanta, look like she got a BBL, but it's natural. And I would have her just talking about, girl, I got this new hot teas. And every link would have links to it, right? Or I'd have these supplement representatives, right? Next, let's keep it moving. Credit, business funding. We'd have somebody show off their house or car or whatever they want to show off their plane to get their points and talk about credit and business funding. That's a whole funnel in itself. Next, I'd have an Instagram page where we would just have a film person go film all the biggest houses in Houston and Dallas. And then I'd have 1 or 2 real estate agents that I'm like, hey, do you want to make money this year? I would personally go back and get my Texas license, and then we play the 20% referral game. Every house you sell from this channel, which we will have an accounting person and a customer service person reviewing it, I'm going to get 20%. Every house. So again, you see it start out with 5 stars, then I said 10 stars, and I said 15. Why? Because I would want to have a rotation of 3 people. I'd have the old Dr. Boyce Watkins style of a program channel, right? Tuesdays, you can see Yvette Cardell talking crazy. Wednesdays, you can see this, right? Y'all knew what that game was about. And so again, automation helps, clips help. Somebody's going to, automation's going to clip it up, and then it just has to get put on Instagram. Links. Somebody's checking your links all the time because you're talking about hundreds of thousands of clicks a month. Make sure your links are going to the right places. Okay. Then also customer service. I'd have a customer service person that would kind of work, 2 or 3 of these at a time. We'd basically have, wholesaling and mortgages together, and herbs, health by itself, and then Instagram does by itself, right? And so we'd have these people who would be calling, hey, I'm trying to get the ebook, it didn't download, something, whatever. and you would roll through that process and you would make hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. So when you see channels like his talking about he's got 50 channels, you may think, oh, that's crazy. Nobody's doing that. That's literally just automation and a few VAs. That's a few editors, from Africa helping chop up your videos and put them out. That's a whole business. That's a whole business model. That is a whole digital real estate business in itself. This is why you have brother Rizza Islam selling you supplements for brain fog and vitamin D to black people. Why? He saw the power and the money, and he made about 10 million already. And he's seen the power and money of Mike, the other black dude who sells vegan supplements. He saw Black Girl Gummies do 10 mil last year. Any of these things I can look it up and show y'all. That's why I told y'all the next couple years is going to be heavy on supplements, because people are going to be like, are you feeling sluggish? Are you feeling brain fog? Right? They're not realizing the quality of their meat and food they're shopping for is gone down, but they're going to look for quick fixes instead of saying no more energy drinks, which I'm still guilty of. No more coffee over the top, 2-3 cups a day. I didn't have any today. I had a 3-day run in Houston. And that third day, I about crashed out that night. I was like yawning. I know people at the inner circle are like, dang, Erica keeps yawning. I'm like, I'm not bored of y'all. I'm not stuffed from the Texas Mex restaurant. I'm just on my 4th day without coffee, right? I think it was my 3rd day that day. But it's one of those things where you're like, we're just getting back to the basics. And I know I can't talk about all those topics and still, and it makes sense. But this is a way that people create digital real estate income. And this is why I keep telling y'all, when you get out here and you tell me, oh, I don't want to do this. I don't want to work. I want to work remote from home. I want to do ABC. You're going to see a lot more people. I think Anton Daniels had a panel where there's like 20 of them, 10 or 20 people on that panel talking. There's like a relationship panel that's been doing events all over the United States, and y'all are coming out of y'all house. It's pathetic. You know what I mean? But my opinion, but it's mine. Y'all don't have to agree with it. Going to see these 5 single people on stage, one of them married, talk about relationships. You know what I'm saying? They going across the country and you're trying to get sound bites. You're asking, what do you think? You know that man don't like you for you got up in that room asking these random people on stage, but it's a business model. I'm gonna put these people with really shiny characteristics and personalities on stage to talk about relationships in an endless circle, because it's just opinions. And we're gonna sell some ebooks, we're gonna sell some stuff, we're gonna sell some merch. That's what it is. It's all a business model. Hold on. Why are you not going to the store? Why is that bonnet on? Take me by the card, please. Pick my card. They just closed, but they closed. No. Sorry, getting distracted, y'all. I'm wrapping it up here, but I just wanted to go over this because many people are saying, why would someone have 50 channels, 20 channels, 30 channels? And I'm telling you this, each one of these is a whole business build out by itself. Each one of these. Literally, right? You just have somebody staff who has access to all the Instagram accounts. Again, remember, that can be dangerous. I want you to understand that, right? You have somebody who is checking the accounts, checking the customer service, seeing what are the reviews, asking for reviews. Like right now we have about 10 to 20 everyday collaboration emails. Hey, Erica, would you like to collaborate on this? Would you like to promote this? And we respond. Don't mean we're going to agree with all of them. But I just want you to understand, like, it's a big money out there. It's big money. Eric, I heard you on the supplements. People forgot that flat tummy tea run up. Got the bag gone. Yeah. Every summer they come out. It's some new version of skinny tummy tea comes out. And they run it up on Instagram. They run it up on TikTok. You know what I mean? And so again, more than ever, you're going to have people who they don't want to leave their house. They're willing to decorate their living room, den, whatever, office, podcast studio from home and be online. And if you're saying, here's $3,000 and we're going to look over how much money you made this month, whether it's a real estate agent, whether it's a mortgage person, right? A wholesaler person, whatever, whoever, you're just going to create these channels. There's one guy in Dallas. He has 3 podcasts. And he literally puts out ads all the time looking for people to interview. Because that's how hard, like when people are really busy doing what they do, they're hard to interview. So, Erica, those panels are about as useful as Jason. Yeah. Because it's an opinion piece. It's not results driven. See, this is what makes people upset. When I start asking for results, when I start asking where you've been, when I start asking, where's the results on your output? What have you done lately? Like, this makes people angry because they realize they have to actually produce numbers, results. People are used to busy work. People are not used to, if you ask them, how does this company make money from A to Z? They're not used to that. They're not used to that. They're used to, how do I do a little bit of busy work? How do I fill out some paperwork and run around and do A, B, and C? I'm not using AI agents. I think YouTube is cracking down as we speak on AI agents coming up here shortly. So just be smart about it. But this is why I shared this today. You'll see a lot more of this. This won't be the last. Hold on, let me see if I can find it.
More popular affiliate networks out there. You simply join it and you can see a bunch of different brands and companies all in one place.
Here we go. Let me go right here.
My chief operating officer. From there on, I built up a team of project managers and video editors and thumbnail people, all from overseas. I'd say about a third to half of my team is currently in Indonesia. That's one of my favorite countries to hire in. And interestingly enough, that's why I also started my overseas recruiting company called Paired. That sister company has helped me hire some of the most amazing team members that I could ever ask for. I have another channel, Charlie Talks Business, where I really go into depth on some of the team structures. So yeah, if you want to watch that video, I'll link it down below. So for my typical schedule, I basically wake up at around 6 a.m. usually. I do a little morning.
Now, we ain't got to hear all that schedule. We ain't got to hear, because there's a bunch of LA bougie bougie nonsense. Okay. I love trolling dust panels. Asking for results is like asking for Hermosi or bots to produce a successful student. Yeah, they haven't. This is one of those things. I'm gonna leave it alone, but I'm gonna leave that comment up there. I want you to understand, like, you're gonna have a lot of people who will tune in to 15-minute videos all day. So I could have somebody who all they talk about is how to get a mortgage, like Matt the mortgage guy. One of the biggest things Matt the mortgage guy ever did was put 20 grand inside DJ Envy hand for him to yell his name out over the internet and radio in New York. Millions of dollars made. Right. I would love to own a brokerage, but I don't want to be a mortgage broker. I love to own a brokerage because I know people think, oh, nobody's buying houses. Nobody. When I've dealt with some of the mortgage brokers companies, they're so used to letting automation and software handle stuff. They're like, I don't know what to do next. They'll literally tell you, the computer won't let me go forward without this piece of paper. And I go, well, what do we do if we don't have that piece of paper? I don't know. I'd have to ask somebody. That's how slow it is out here. This is the level of customer service many of you are going to run into in the next 2 to 5 years. People that don't know, they aren't experienced, they're guessing. The computer didn't tell them what to do next, so there's no critical thinking. Okay. So my suggestion to you is either you're going to be working with people that you're going to be sticking your finger through your head, like, how are these people this slow? Or you're going to be over some of these companies, smaller ones, doing massive amount of mortgages, massive amount of things. It's all referral based, right? As much as I'd love to go crazy on the content, this year for me coming up is more on the money lending side, financial and construction, heavy construction, because I know that's a 24 month window that can get you up to $10 to $30 million. Just simple as that, right? Can you get that same money with YouTube? Yeah. It's going to be some work, but you can do it. You don't think Dave Ramsey put all these people out on these shows for free? You think all these different companies are promoting and headlining people for free? No. It all rolls into a big pockets of affiliate marketing. It just does. So Cody Sanchez, every one of these guys, if you pay attention, they'll come on YouTube, they'll say really wild things, and then they'll say, here's my website, which is a software SaaS company. Software as a service company. Yeah, come get on here. And if you know anything about software as a service companies, you just need to keep a certain amount of students enrolled. Same thing with school. If you have 1,000 students at $25, that's $25K a month. You just got to keep that many students enrolled. Okay. So look, this wasn't going to be a long show. I just wanted to hit the nail on the head for those. Let's see if I had anything over here. Again, yeah, you know what business is. Again, talking to customers, selling to customers, building for customers, building for yourself. Nothing too crazy here. And we talked about this yesterday. A lot of these people that are in these higher income jobs, they're going to get 1 or 2 rentals if they're smart. 1 or 2 rentals, and they're going to roll out this economy and go, Erica, yeah, it was bad, but it wasn't that bad. You know, oh, it was stressful, but it wasn't that stressful. It's going to be a lot of what's going on right now. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great day. Again, I put it in the video. If you want to book a call, book a call. If you, one of my biggest recommendations is AI business here at this link and confidence challenge. Many of you lack the confidence, and that's why you're going to work for people that, let's be honest, dumb as a box of rocks. And you're like, why am I here listening to this boomer? I could do this better, faster, quicker. You probably could. One of the things holding you back is money, and one of the things holding you back is confidence. You see Michael Dell's son done ran out there and asked for a Billy, and he got it. You know, many people ain't gonna want to hear that, but that's the truth. You know, they asked for a Billy and he got it because he had the confidence to go out there. So look, this is your girl Erica. Let me go cook this spaghetti for dinner and keep it moving. You guys have a great day. You've probably been seeing these commercials for Middleman to Millions course. What is Middleman to Millions? We're teaching so many people how to have service businesses. The upcoming year, one of the fastest growing businesses you will see are service businesses and digital businesses. Why is that? Because so many things need repairs, need maintenance, and guess what? We have a shortage of men and also women who can do things. Listen, I'm not the best with a hammer, but I know I can gather a crew of people to get things done, and that's what I've done with 2 of my service businesses. And that's what I'll be teaching if you check us out in the Middleman to Millions course. And look forward to us on the road with Digital Liberty Tour 2024. It's Erica Williams.